applications. We selected a group of 13 young people from many countries of the region, and we are extremely happy to have most of them with us today. They are really, really inspiring young people working towards the conservation of the Amazon. And so I would like to thank all of you who are here in person today. I would like to thank all of our speakers, the secretary, the people who are watching us online. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome Ms. Emma Torres. Emma is SPA Strategic Coordinator, as well as Vice President of the Americas and Head of the New York Office of the Sustainable Development Solutions Network. Emma, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to be with all of you here. We've been counting the days and that you will arrive in, and we're very happy that most of you managed to come to this first meeting. We are gathering today on the eve of the Summit of the Future. And we're also gathering today, which is the Action Day for the future generations, youth and future generations at the United Nations. I have worked all my career at the United Nations. I'm a devoted person of the United Nations, so I'm really very happy that you are here exactly when the United Nations is going to adopt the Pact for the Future. The Pact for the Future has 5 major elements. Number 1 is sustainable development and financing for development. Number 2 is international peace and security. Number 3, science, technology, innovation, and digital cooperation. And number 4 is youth and the future generations. Number 5 is transforming global governance. So you that are going to be the advisors of the Science Panel of the Amazon will have a role in all these areas and in the context of the Amazon. The Science Panel of the Amazon, as you know, it's a wonderful, wonderful group of scientists, more than 280 scientists, that have made a number of an important report, which is called the Assessment Report of the Amazon, and is known now as the Encyclopedia of the Amazon. It's a point of reference knowledge of the scientific knowledge that exists in the region. This was very important because there's obviously a lot of work in the Amazon, but it was the first collective effort of all these scientists of our countries, the 8 countries of the Amazon, plus French Guyana. And at the same time, it is a group that is in dialogue with major scientists all over the world. So it is an important group of scientists, independent, that are working to really advance and synthesize the knowledge existing in the Amazon. This report has had tremendous impact, and Marielos is going to, our co-chair who's here with us, is going to tell you a lot more about what impact it's got. I was just going to highlight a couple of things. Number 1 is that many of our governments are using the report as an information document to make policies. For instance, some of the policy briefs are being used to do some specific actions. We're very proud that, for instance, our restoration, Arcs of Restoration policy brief has been served as a basis for the National Development Bank of Brazil, one of the largest development banks, to create a fund for restoration. We are very pleased also that with you here, we have 2 members of our strategic committee, Roberto Waack and María Fernanda Espinosa, and one of the other members will be joining us online. So it is wonderful to this sort of institutional framework that we have in the panel, that now we have the young people. And the whole idea when we discuss about bringing advisory committee of younger generation is because we feel that it's extremely important to hear the voices of the young generation. And we, you already been discussing this among yourselves, that it's very important to engage the future generations, the next generation of scientists, the ones that are in a way help us solve a lot of the challenges that we have in the Amazon, but also bring the solutions and the new ideas and the energy that you can bring to that, and also help disseminate a lot of the policy relevant recommendations that the panel is working on. So we are delighted to have you with us, and we're very much looking forward that you work and with us, give us advice, help us disseminate the lessons, but more importantly, really, we need your energy to continue this long commitment that exists the Amazon. The Amazon, as you all know, is extremely important, not only for our region, but it's also for globally, and certainly for the Earth cycle. So it is extremely important that we conserve our Amazon, but at the same time, our Amazon lives 40 million people, including lots of communities of indigenous peoples, and they need to have sustainable development. We need to also have transformative sustainable development for the region. And that's why science, technology, innovation is extremely important, because if we want to have the forests standing and the rivers flowing, we need solutions that bring sustainable development to the Amazon in an innovative way. Well, I want to welcome on behalf of the Science Panel of the Amazon, on behalf of the Sustainable Development Solutions Network, and we're very much looking forward to your contribution and to your advice as the panel moves forward. Thank you very much. I'm going to check if we have. Okay. Well, I have now the privilege to introduce the president of Sustainable Development Solutions Network, Professor Jeffrey Sachs. I have to say that the Science Panel of the Amazon was really convened by Jeff, but more importantly, Jeff had that idea. He said it's extremely important to have a scientific assessment of the state of the Amazon. And I think, we pick up that ball, and obviously the scientists came to a meeting here in the UN, and we discussed that, and that's the moment that the panel began. And it's been growing, and we did this assessment. So I have to say that it is an inspiration of our scientists from the region, but also, the convening of Jeff. Jeff is well known by all of you. He is president of the Sustainable Development Solutions Network. He's a professor of economics, but more importantly, he's also been always advising the UN to many secretary generals. So he's also part of the big agenda of the United Nations. So Jeff, very much welcome. We have here in our Youth Advisory Committee 13 young members that come from different countries of the region of the Amazon. Some of them are young scientists, some of young leaders, but we really is a very wonderful group that is going to help us engage the future generation of scientists, but also engage with disseminating the lessons that are coming and the recommendations that are coming from the panel. Welcome.
That's wonderful, and it's really great to meet you. Oh, good. I'm now seeing the camera in the front of the room so I can see your faces. So please wave and greetings. We're almost in person. I think I'm nearby, but I'm very, very happy to welcome you to this very exciting process. Let me tell you a quick story of the origins of the science panel, just one moment. And that was in Emma, you're going to have to remind me, 2019 probably.
2019.
Yeah, 2019, I think in June, a report came out that the forest fires in the Amazon had reached an all-time record. And this was during the Bolsonaro period, which was also very complicated because there was no interest in doing anything about this. And in fact, the day after the announcement that the month had set a record for forest fires, President Bolsonaro fired the head of the Brazilian Space Agency for having made a story like that. Of course, the story was based on data. The story was dramatic and science-based, but it was not something that the president wanted to hear. So he fired the head of the space agency. And I said to Emma, we need to do something. And Emma said, of course, let's call Carlos Nobre and brainstorm about what can be done. And the science panel of the Amazon emerged from that. The idea of the scientists of the region who know the region better than anyone else in the world to take the lead to explain to everybody what's going on, what are the dangers, what are the risks, what should we do? And the main conclusion of the science panel of the Amazon, as you know, is that we're close to disaster. We're close to a fundamental tipping point in the Amazon ecosystem because with so much deforestation, approximately 17% of the original forest, and so much land degradation, approximately another 17% of the original forest, we're at a point where significant drying of the forest is possible from the internal dynamics of land degradation. And that drying could spread in a kind of contagion-like fashion and tip the rainforest even into a grassland type ecosystem. And of course, it's not only the internal pressures that are threatening the rainforest, but also the global scale or regional scale pressures, especially the warming of the Caribbean and the change of the Hadley cycle. The Hadley cell could lead to drier, warmer air descending over the Amazon that could also accentuate or tip the system to drylands. The upshot of this is that the internal degradation needs to stop and even be reversed through reforestation or restoration of degraded land. And of course, the global forcings of global human-induced climate change also need to stop for this added reason, added to the list of all the things that can go wrong if we continue at the global scale without a basic change of energy systems and land use. Now, you're joining this important process with two major developments now underway that I would like you to be aware of and to take into account. One is that because of the success in mobilizing the expertise in the region, in the science panel of the Amazon, similar panels are being set up now in Southeast Asia and in the Congo Basin, the two other major equatorial or tropical rainforest regions of the world. And of course, the Brazilian government under President Lula has called for cooperation between the Amazon countries, the Southeast Asian rainforest countries, and the Congo Basin countries. And so this is also a worldwide political movement. The second process that is underway is what to do about all of this, what kinds of models of sustainable development, design, financing, support for local indigenous communities, other kinds of policy changes can protect these enormous ecosystems and do so also in a way that at least addresses the needs of the 30 million people who live in the Amazon region in Brazil, for example. So this is the next challenge. And the timing is rather tight because while we will have the Summit of the Future starting this weekend, and we will have COP29 in Azerbaijan, in Baku, in November. Next year, the climate summit, of course, will be in Belém, in the Amazon. And the aim of the Brazilian government as host of the climate summit next year is to establish a tropical rainforest fund that can provide the financing for the solutions for sustainable development. And that is what we want you to help us define how and by what mechanisms can we engage the communities of the Amazon to protect the Amazon, to conserve, and to find pathways that are truly sustainable for the communities in the Amazon region. And supposing that there is funding available, how can it be used? How can it be developed at scale? BNDES in Brazil, similar institutions in the other Amazon rainforest countries are taking up this question during the coming basically year plus a month or two. So we have a year to try to put the scientific lessons of the science panel for the Amazon into policy achievements. And then from there, of course, to years and years of implementation. I know you have a long program and a long day, so I won't go on longer except to say thank you for engaging in this process. Thank you for helping to partner counterparts in the Congo Basin and in Southeast Asia, because we'll join the groups together, at least in virtual rooms for discussion among the three major rainforest regions. And thank you for engaging with us and with Science Panel in the coming year as we really look forward to COP30 in Belém to provide not only advocacy on the importance of the Amazon, but actually signing the papers on the new solutions that are going to be introduced at that time. Thank you very much, and welcome. Welcome to New York as well.
Thank you very much, Jeff. I think we have a wonderful group, and we will have many opportunities to meet with you again to discuss exactly what you said, how we're going to support the development of that fantastic institution that the Brazilians are launching, and as well the solutions to implement in the region. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Jeffrey. I now have the great honor to invite to the stage Ms. María Fernanda Espinosa Garcés. María Fernanda is the first woman from Latin America and the Caribbean to preside over the UN General Assembly. And she had served Ecuador in many key roles, including Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of National Defense, and Coordinating Minister of Natural and Cultural Heritage. María Fernanda has a really, really extensive and impressive curriculum, so I won't be able to go through all of that. So without further ado, María Fernanda, the floor is yours.
Well, good afternoon. Just a quick survey. Who speaks Spanish in the audience? Okay, English? There is translation, I understand. I'm just choosing the language. Do we prefer English or Español?
Sorry, also we have interpretation. There are headsets that I forgot to mention. Sorry, we have headsets for anyone.
Bueno, what's best? Huh? English, okay, English. It's always tougher because, yeah, it's okay. But first of all, thank you, Emma. Thank you to SDSN, as always. And thank you for being here. To be very frank with you, so I've been running around and I had my speaking notes and I left them somewhere. So I'm like hands-free now, but I can say that I have the privilege to serve in the advisory panel of the Science Panel of the Amazon. I was among the ones that sat for the first time for the establishment of the panel in 2019. Thanks to the great thinkers, the support of SDSN, Carlos Nobre, and so many scientists that came together in New York for the first time in September 2019, and I think Jeff explained very well what were the origins and the inspiration behind this science panel. What we have seen in these past years is the incredible amount of information, intelligence, analysis of the thinkers and doers of the 8 Amazonian countries. I have observed their work, the impact it has had. I think that Emma mentioned how useful the work of the science panel has been in informing and supporting countries as they take decisions on the future of the Amazon. I think that I cannot tell you, since you come from these countries, what are the challenges ahead of us. Jeff mentioned what are the challenges, basically what we are facing. I come from Ecuador, so I know very well what it's like to be and live in an Amazonian country. My professional career did happen in the Amazon. I lived there and worked with indigenous peoples in the Ecuadorian Amazon for 5 years. When I'm asked what university did I go to, I have to be honest and say my university was the Cuyabeno lagoon in the northern part of the Amazon, was the Quichua communities in the Napo River, in the places where I learned most of the things that I know today. So even though I come from the highlands, from Quito, I can say that the life, the future, the movement, the paradigm shift in development pathways has to come from places like the Amazon basin. One of the big challenges that we face today is to find the proper governance designs, the policy designs to govern our ecological commons. And I think that the Amazon is where it all happens. I'm so happy to be sharing this space with you, with the younger generations of thinkers, of journalists, of scientists of the Amazonian countries, because that's where the answers and the transformation is going to come from. My generation, believe me, we didn't do our homework right. In this, it's a long story, and I often remember one of the first, of course, I studied Amazonian studies, and one of the first small articles I wrote was called The Amazon, an Internal Colony. And for the ones that come from Amazonian countries, you know, and I know, that our Amazon regions are treated like internal colonies. Extractive economies, the maximum levels of poverty, now unfortunately in many countries, including my own, organized crime, drug trafficking, not such a bright future for younger generations, not to speak about the future of indigenous peoples of our countries. But you know, the situation is bleak, but we are, I think, our commitment should be not to lose hope and not to lose optimism, because to keep the hope and the optimism high doesn't mean that we don't know what is going on and that we are naive. It means that we are opening the possibility for transformation and for better days for the Amazon and for our countries in South America. So I really celebrate the initiative of the panel to establish this Youth Advisory Committee. And I am convinced that it is you that you know, are going to be guiding the work, informing the work, advising the science panel, but also becoming ambassadors of the work of the science panel in your respective countries and wherever you are and wherever you go. So thank you for allowing me to be here today. I'm going to be extremely unpolite. I usually don't do that, but I have to go to a TV studio right now. I thought it was very nearby, but I have to get to Brooklyn for a TV recording, so I might have to leave early. So thank you again, Emma, for this. Thank you for being here. When I see your faces, today is the first action day of the Summit of the Future, devoted to the younger generations, devoted to you. So this was a gift, you know, to see you here, to see that you're committed to the future of the Amazon and of your respective countries, and that we count on you to make things better. Thank you.
And we would like to thank Maria Fernanda too. Maria Fernanda has been really engaged in the panel, really actively engaged since the beginning. She was presiding the General Assembly when the panel was established in 2019. So thank you, Maria Fernanda. And now I would like to invite to the floor our wonderful co-chair, Dr. Marielos Peña-Claros. So Dr. Marielos Peña-Claros, in addition to being co-chair of the Science Panel for the Amazon, is professor at the Forest Ecology and Forest Management Group of Wageningen University, where she has been working since 2010. And Marielos is specialized in forest ecology, focusing on forest management of tropical forests. Marielos, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Isabella, and good afternoon. Buenas tardes a todos y todas.
Good afternoon, everyone.
So great to see you here. Thank you for being with us today and to celebrate this very special moment for the Science Panel for the Amazon. 5 years ago, I was here among the group of 40, 60 researchers that were called to come to New York and to deliberate if we thought, what we thought about an idea of creating a science panel for the Amazon, what form that will be, and so on. It was, as the previous speakers have said, it was a year with a lot of fires. A huge amount of areas had burned. The situation was very critical. And it was a very easy decision, actually, to go ahead and create the science panel for the Amazon. I'm back in New York after 5 years, and looking back, I think that we as a panel have achieved a lot of things. Emma has mentioned about the 2021 report that was launched, the Encyclopedia of the Amazon. Since then, every year we have launched, in 2022, we launched 3 policy briefs. Last year we launched 6 policy briefs. This year we are working on 4 of them on very specific topics that we think that are relevant for the region. So some policy briefs are about infrastructure, illegal land grabbing, restoration, how to avoid tipping points, forest management, and so on. So a lot has been done, but there is a lot to be done still. If you have followed the news, the situation at this moment is also not very hopeful. There's a lot of fires in Bolivia, Brazil, Peru. There is a lot of drought. There are a lot of people suffering with the smoke in this, that is going on. And the situation is really very critical. And we do need to find solutions, solutions that are there for the long term. We do need a change in paradigm in the way that we look at the Amazon for development. We need to see how we can develop this area in a sustainable way that allow us to keep our forests standing and our rivers flowing. And science can and is playing a very important role into that. And that is seen in all the documents that we are producing. And I think that we have been making all this information available, and I think that the Youth Advisory Committee can play a very important role in bridging that to sectors that probably we haven't reached so far. So one of the tasks that we hope that the Youth Advisory Committee will be doing is really to reach through you younger generations, and also to be able to get feedback from you and to hear voices that are maybe not represented completely in our panel. So we would like that you help us communicate in the outcomes of the SPA, that you think along with us and with us on potential solutions. And we also hope that in this way we will be supporting the next generation of researchers of the region. Today I had the fortune to meet these 12 amazing people. I was deeply touched by all the stories that I heard from them this morning. And you see, I'm still getting emotional if I think about how open and how amazing things they have done. They're young people, and they have done so much already. It's really brilliant to see all the things that you have done. It has really motivated me to continue the task together. So I think in moments of despair, I think you are bringing hope and you're bringing positive energy. And as one of you said, I think it was Meset, said, juntos somos poderosos, together we are powerful, and I really believe that with you, we can achieve a lot in the coming years. But it's together that we're gonna do this. Jeffrey Sachs mentioned yesterday about the Sustainable Development Goal number 17 that focuses on partnership. And I really believe on partnerships, on collaborating, sitting together around the table, brainstorming, bringing ideas. So let's do that together. I'm really looking forward to work with you, and I really thank you for your interest in our work and for joining us. And let's think solutions together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marielos. Yes, it was a really inspiring morning, and you guys are really lucky to be working with Marielos, who is an incredible person. Well, I'd like now to call to the floor Roberto Waack, and I will do this. Well, I'll do that soon. But Roberto, in addition to being member of the Strategic Committee of the Science Panel for the Amazon, he's at the board of Arapiaú Institute, and he's also Associate Fellow of Chatham House. Roberto was it's also a really long curriculum. So Roberto was a founding member of the Brazilian Coalition for Climate, Forest and Agriculture and the Brazilian Coalition for the Amazon. And he acted as board member of the Forest Stewardship Council, Global Reporting Initiative, WWF Brazil, Ethos Institute, Fumbio, and many others. So with this, Roberto, it's my pleasure to give you the floor.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you very much, Emma, Isabella, for this invitation. Very, very, very special for me. Well, it's an honor for me to be here with you. It's been an honor to be a member of the Science Panel for the Amazon Strategic Committee. And you have no idea how emotional for me and how special for me is to participate in this particular event. I'll try to tell you why. 5 years ago, we launched an initiative called One Consultation for the Amazon. It's a movement. We call it One Consultation and not a consultation, because we really believe on the power of the diversity. So we created this movement to become kind of a platform where people interested in the Amazon can meet, can share ideas, and can work on something like a development agenda. I'll tell you a bit more about that. Today we have about 1,000 people and organizations involved with the consultation for the Amazon. We issued like dozens of reports, papers, more than 100 webinars on different fronts, trying to address the enormous challenges of the Amazons, the wicked problems related to the Amazons, like education, health, bioeconomy, crime, violence, deforestation, land use, science and technology, so different perspectives from the Amazon. And we try to contribute for the development of an agenda, a structural agenda for the Amazon. And the word development is something that is really crucial and very important in this event, in our view. I'll come back to that. We involve private sector, the academy, civil society, local, national, and international. And first of all, we work very hard to spread out the concept of the Amazons, not the Amazon. It's obvious that we're talking about an incredible, diverse environment, immense cultural spectrum, and doing that, considering from the beginning, from the start, that we cannot deal with one concept of the Amazon. We need, from the beginning, to deal with this plural concept of the region. Doing that on this huge challenge to deal with the plurality, we try to help and to foster the institutional environment of the region, and especially governance. But you know, our major challenge is not bringing all these, let's say, structural pillars for the region. Our major challenge is to help shaping a long-term view for the region and ambitions for the region. We, as Brazilian, we believe we lack a vision for the region. We lack a long-term ambition for the region. Of course, we are talking about a prosperous ambition. We are trying hard, but we are very far from being successful on that challenge, to really try to come up with a kind of a vision for the future of the Amazon. Of course, we have different perspectives, different cultures, so a common vision is something very, very difficult to achieve, and especially an ambition is something that we really believe we are lacking as a region, as a territory, as also an area that involves the different countries. We apply a methodology called the landscape approach. The landscape approach involves 3 pillars. The first pillar is rationality, science. The importance of what we're doing here is absolutely crucial. The second pillar is emotions. And we believe that we are not dealing with the emotional component of the landscape approach at the same level that we are doing on the, let's say, rational approach. So in our view, we need to come up or to develop a much better balanced approach on rationality, science, and emotions. And the third pillar is basically culture and art. We think that culture is the best tool to translate emotions. So the way we deal with the consultation for the Amazon, trying to address something like a development agenda, a long-term view, is combining the rationality, science, emotions, and having culture as an important pillar to translate everything we are trying to deal with. We really believe that ambitions, long-term ambition, is heavily dependent on emotions, is heavily dependent on dreams. In the last 4 years, we opened space for artists to show their visions, poetry, graphic arts, graffitis, gastronomy, literature, everything we can consider part of the cultural spectrum. The vast majority, more than 90% of the artists were youngsters. And we can see the power of the youngsters on this perspective, bringing through culture, through arts, their vision of the future, or something related to how they see, how they dream the future of the Amazon. And we strongly believe that we need to have this component as part of that construction of this huge challenge which is building an ambition for the region. We learn a lot. In every event of the consultation for the Amazon, we have an artist combining the cultural dimension with the rationality and science. Not always easy, sometimes very painful to understand, to capture something like the dreams through culture, through arts. But we are 100% convinced that the only alternative to shape an ambition, a vision for the future, is involving, learning, drinking in the hidden wisdom of the youngsters. You, or they, are the guardians of the dreams, and you translate the dreams into art, culture, like any other group of our civilization. Dreams, desires, expectations, in our view, are the major raw materials for the ambitions, for the long-term view. So that's why you try to combine, or to at least have this type of equal balance of the importance of rationality and science with emotions and culture. Basically, the youngsters and you control the doors of the future of the Amazon. You can reshape the concept of development. So that, the beginning of the consultation, which was, let's try to come up with a development agenda for the region. The word development became something replaced by the challenge of shaping an ambition, shaping a view. And the concept of development will come up from that new perspective, from this future perspective. And we are absolutely sure that you and the youngsters in general, you hold the secret future of the Amazon, and you can somehow translate that through different alternatives, through different movements. Art is one of it. So we need to thank you and to thank the youngsters in general for all of that, for bringing these very different perspectives, the way you show, the way you represent your dreams are of major importance on this process of trying to shape an ambition for the region. Again, that's so diverse, an incredible multiple cultural area and territory. So the way we see is that we own full respect on how the whole of the youngsters will play in this process of shaping the future. That is more or less what we are trying to achieve with this process. And of course, we need to thank you very much for your contribution on that. We count on you to have the first, as a first goal, think about an ambition, think about a vision of the future, a vision for the whole region, having this redesign of what is the meaning of the word development for the whole gene. So translate your dreams, translate your wisdom, translate your knowledge into an ambition. That's more or less what we expect from this new committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Roberto, and I completely agree. I'm really happy that you brought the emotional component into the table. Thank you very much. And now I'd like to invite Ms. Torres and Dr. Marielos Peña-Claros to the floor for our official kickoff of the Youth Engagement Strategy, Youth Advisory Committee, sorry.
So what we will do is we will call each member of the advisory, youth advisory committee. They will introduce themselves briefly now, and then so that you get to know them a little bit. So I would like to start with Maryane, Bento, Trindade de Andrade.
Thank you, everyone. I'm so happy to be here today. I'm María Andrade. I'm a forest engineer, and I have Master of Science in Tropical Forests. And the Amazon I want is one where develop coexist with forests, conserve biodiversity, promoting sustainable practices, and adapting to extreme events, but also promote a place that people can be happy, can be healthy, can live good. So that's my message for all. Thank you for having me.
I would like to call João Pedro Braga.
Hello everyone. Olá a todos. Meu nome é João, sou do Rio de Janeiro, Brasil.
My name is Joao, I'm from Rio.
And the Amazon that I want is an Amazon which is below the tipping point, an Amazon which is alive, and it's able to not only showcase its beautiful social diversity, its biodiversity as well, but also that it's able to support the people who sustain it. Thanks so much.
I call now on Alejandra Gonzales Rocabado.
Hello to everyone. My name is Alejandra Gonzales. I am from Bolivia, and it's such an honor to be here with all of you. The Amazon I want, it's lush, alive, and cared for because the Amazon holds our future. The Amazon is not just a sanctuary of biodiversity, water, and air, but it's a place where its beauty and simply its existence fills our heart full of hope for a better world. Thank you so much.
I call now on Carla, Daniela, Guevara, Inga.
Buenas tardes con todas y todos. Mi
Good
nombre es
afternoon,
Carla
everyone.
Guevara.
My name is Carla Guevara. I'm a sociologist
Estoy
from
en la
Ecuador.
provincia,
I come from
grande
the
del Amazonas,
largest province of the Ecuadorian Amazon, that is Pastaza. And the Amazon that I would like to see is an Amazon of social justice, environmental justice, and also for appreciation of the knowledge and wisdom of the traditional indigenous peoples.
Thank you. I would like to call Soraya Devi Jhagroe.
Sorry about that. Good evening, everyone. My name is Soraya Jhagroe from Suriname. As a young leader and professional dedicated to environmental advocacy, I am actively engaged in developmental challenges across the Caribbean. And the Amazon I want is a vibrant and resilient system where knowledge and research unite to promote sustainable development for our future generations. Thank you.
Thank you. Meset Fernando.
Hola con todos, muy buenas noches. Mi nombre
Hello
es
everyone,
Meset.
good evening. My name is Meset Fernando Mashingashi Yonkuch. I come from the south of Ecuador, of the southern Ecuadorian Amazon. I've been working in projects devoted to media education, conservation of the environment, and well, I dream of a greener Amazon where our original peoples are, our natives are respected.
Gustavo Nascimento.
Thank you so much. Hi everyone, good evening. I'm sorry for my voice. I'm Gustavo. I'm from Brazil. I'm a scholar working to the preservation of the Amazon through policy development and social environmental research. And the Amazon that I want is one that has more harmony between its human and non-human life, and one that can not only reforest its grounds, soil, and the forest itself, but also reforest the mind of people that live there and in other places as well. Thank you so much.
Pedro Neves.
So, hi everyone, I'm Pedro Castro. I'm from Belém, in the Brazilian Amazon. I'm an economist researching development planning in the humid tropics. The Amazon I want is one where the intrinsic relation between the forest and its people is recognized and celebrated in public planning. It's one where the forest and its people thrive together. The Amazon I want sees the traditional economic practices of its economies not just as remnant of the past, but as the blueprint for a sustainable future that holds the key to keeping the forest alive and vibrant, offering a model of development that the world needs, urgently needs to embrace. Thank you.
Nohora Alejandra.
Guanampa Tupue, soy Alejandra Kiwantar, indígena de
I
Colombia,
am Alejandra Kiwantar, I'm Colombia's indigenous woman in the Pan-Andean region. It is a place of great diversity. Since I was a child, I was interested in community research and collaboration. I've been working in the monitoring of biodiversity with women and children to inform decision makers, and the Amazon that I want to see is one that is socially fair and also from a gender perspective to generate a more sustainable and egalitarian world. Thank you.
Criseida Roman.
Criseida Roman.
Hola a todos, mucho gusto conocerlos. Soy
Hello
Criseida
everyone,
Román.
pleasure to meet you. I'm an environmental engineer and I'm very much tied to the Peruvian Amazon. Through these years, This motivation has allowed me to develop agro-resilient systems with indigenous rural families in the Alto Mayo Valley in our region. The Amazon I want to see is alive, it is respectful, and enshrines the rights of all humans, and also a healthy ecosystem for all. Our generation has answered the call to ensure a prosperous and safe Amazon for all. Thank you.
Felipe?
Felipe? Estou? De Oliveira?
Boa noite a todos. Sou Felipe Stock de
Good night. I'm Felipe Stock from Rio Branco, Acre, Brazil. I'm an economist, and I go to masters at Yale. It's nice to see some colleagues from there here. The Acre state has a big challenge with lots of smoke and a air quality that is really hard for people. That's why the Amazon that I want and we will fight for it is one Amazon that guarantees the conservation of forests, that respect indigenous peoples, and that guarantee the well-being of these 40 million people that live in the Amazon. This will guarantee a good ecosystem for the future generation as well. Thank you.
Ha sido realmente fantástico oír los mensajes.
It has been wonderful to see the messages coming from all of you.
They all want a living Amazon. They want their dreams to be placed in the Amazon. Is the Amazon we all want. Thank you all very much.
Thank you all. It's always really, really great to hear from you. We also have two members who unfortunately could not join us in person today. So they sent us a video, and there it is.
Hello, my name is Anaïs Salabert and I live in French Guiana. I work as a teacher in Maripasula, a city of 8,000 inhabitants neighboring Suriname. The Amazon I want has its culture protected, its inhabitants safe, and is a global priority for preservation and sustainable development.
Meu nome é Beca, sou indígena do povo
My name is Beca, I'm indigenous Munduruku. I'm also a member of the scientific panel for the Amazon. And this launch, my expectation is for the committee to also be able to look more at the Amazon and the indigenous people so that we may be able to accomplish a joint work with the indigenous, us, but also utilizing our knowledge inside the territory and also bring a good result for us to be in this work, realizing processes and initiatives.
Yes, unfortunately, they could not be here with us, but I'm really glad that we were able to hear their message. And Becca, like she said, in addition to be a member of the Youth Advisory Committee, she's also a member of our Strategic Committee. So now I would like to invite three of our YAC members to the floor to provide their initial statement. The three of you can come already. And we'll
Let's just stand up front here. Okay, yes, we can. Okay, our statement, I will do it in English. As the Youth Advisory Committee of the Science Panel for the Amazon, we are committed to support a paradigm shift in development. Over the next 2 years, we will seek in every form to support the panel's efforts and mobilize the next generations of scientists and leaders in the region. The time to act is now, And we are ready to lead the way towards a resilient, sustainable, and vibrant future for the Amazon we want. Thank you.
Como Comitê Consultivo de Jovens do Painel Científico para a Amazônia,
Consultative Youth Panel for the Amazon were compromised to support a paradigm change in the development. The next 2 years, we will seek all possible ways to support the efforts of the panel and mobilize the next generation of scientists indigenous to the region. The time to act is now. We will be ready to lead the way in direction to a resilient future, sustainable and vibrant for the Amazon that we want. Thank you.
Como comité asesor juvenil del
I said earlier,
advisory committee
for
for
the
the
scientific
Amazon,
panel for the Amazon,
we are committed to
compromising
supporting
ourselves to support
change in
paradigm
paradigm
change.
developments.
During the
In
next
the
2
next
years,
2 years,
we will be seeking
we will find
all
as many
possible
ways as
ways
possible
to support the efforts of the panel
and
and
to
mobilize the next generation of
scientists
and
and
leaders
in the region.
of the region. The moment to
The
act is
time to
now,
act is now,
and we are ready to lead the change to a
towards
resilient
a
future,
resilient,
sustainable future,
sustainable and
vibrant as
vibrant
well, for the
future for the
Amazon that we
Amazon
all
that we
want.
all want.
Thank you, Soraya, Meset, and Joao. And I would like to invite Emma Torres to the floor for our final remarks.
Thank you to all of you. I want to thank especially our 13 members of the Youth Advisory Committee. I think you are inspiring us already. Your statement was very, very wonderful and say that, what is the aspiration of the Amazon you want? And it combines, the thinking that is already emerging both in the science panel of the Amazon, you and our members of our strategic committee that remind us that the Amazon is many Amazons. It's many Amazon, many cultures, and we want all of that live. This is the Amazon we want, an Amazon that is diverse, but at the same time, an Amazon that could have a model, a transformative model, a new model of development. And it's very important because the solutions have to come from the Amazon. The way the development was then didn't come from tropical forest. And I think in that sense also, what is a new city in the Amazon? What is a sustainable infrastructure in the Amazon? We need to have those answers. And I think it's important that we have the standing forests, the flowing rivers, but also sustainable Amazon that is developing for the benefit of the communities and the people of the region. This is also inspiration because it will be a dialogue with other tropical forests, like the Congo, like Southeast Asia, where they also have to deal with this new development paradigm. So I cannot but thank you all very much. I want to thank our panelists, our members of the strategic committee, our co-chair, Marielos, all the people that have listening to us from via live streaming, and all the participant things. Very much thank you for coming. I also want to thank very especially my team that has helped to put together. Julia, who's not with us because she had a family emergency, but she's been articulate on all this. Isabella, Laila, Daniel, and the team that works directly with the Secretariat in Sao Paulo with the Science Panel of the Amazon, Julia Leira, Brandao. A number of them have been working behind the scenes to make this all possible. So thank you all very much, and I welcome you to join us for a small reception outside of the terrace. Thanks a lot.